I am so delighted for today's conversation because it involves many twists and turns. It involves life of a nomad. It involves prison. It involves it involves the wild ride that is the decision to, do what you love for other people and turn it into your an income stream. It's so good. And yeah, that's a little hint as to what's to come on today's episode of Expedition to Soul. We know that you were born magical. We know that you are intuitive, and we know that you are brimming with everyday enchantment. Here at the Sisters Enchanted, we believe in intention, we believe in intuition, and we believe in everyday magic. Welcome in to the Expedition to Soul podcast. Welcome to today's podcast episode. I'm Sarah, founder of the Sisters Enchanted, and I'm joined today by the one, the only Morgan Ray from our communities. Hello, Morgan. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm so good. Morgan, you want to just say a little like, who are you? Kind of introduce yourself to anybody who might not know you.
Oh, sure. So my name's Morgan and I travel for a living. So constantly in different places. Plus I love to explore. So I'm always seeing the hidden things that you can find everywhere. So I'm all over the United States, of course, but now it's mostly finding the magical and fun things. And I do soul realignment through the Akashic Records and Lenormand reading. So, and I love to put my cards all over the place and take pictures in the fun places too.
Yeah, you can find Morgan on Instagram and YouTube. And on Instagram, Morgan is at _sacred_traveler. So we'll be sure to type that in and, wherever we have that. But the Sacred Traveler with underscores in between is Morgan. And you can see where she's sharing Lenormand and some of her adventures and fun like stories and quotes and things. So be sure to check Morgan out. But Morgan, you've been an amazing member of our community for a few years now, and always contributing and supporting people and doing all the fun challenges and just really like making the most of it. And it's really delightful to experience your energy in the group and your contribution, because you are such a highlight of the group and really, in there, just making it a community. So I want to ask you, I got a glimpse at this story before we started. What was it like? Tell the journey of how you came to be at the Sisters Enchanted in Holistic Witchery. What was that like? And what is this amazing story that involves a lot of things that sound very criminal when you just say them individually?
Yeah, I know. Well, because I'd been doing Expedition to Soul for a while, but always on the fence about joining because I did not have the best confidence. And even like that's one of the things I liked about Holistic Witchery is one day I had confidence, like it, but I did not. Like I didn't like to talk to anyone. There's a reason I started traveling on the road to begin with, so I wouldn't have to talk to anyone and I could just hide, and just hide and not be a part of community. But there was this one time at the border, one of my many brushes with the Border Patrol, because they said because we haul like pharmaceuticals. So, well, one of the times it was because like they thought we were human trafficking, but this time was because they thought we were smuggling cocaine because we picked up something from Mexico where they were transporting cocaine. So the scent was still on there, even though they couldn't find anything, we were let go. But in the jail cell, because I was held in a cell with this woman who is actually a prostitute, but loved her life, was telling me all about how exciting it was and how exciting her job was and being an escort. But like her confidence, because we were in a holding cell under arrest technically, and she was demanding blankets and pillows and food. And when they brought her a sandwich, she said, I want something different. Like, this is not okay. Like, and just demanding all these things, turn up the heat, turn down the heat. Like, and they kept having a reminder. They're like, you do know you're under arrest. Like, but her confidence was like amazing. So amazing watching her just know her worth, even when she was in a I guess, disadvantaged situation, because most times that usually scares people, sobers people up, and they're trying to be on their best behavior to get out.
Yeah.
But she was like, no. And then when they finally did let us go hours later, she's like, and you're going to give me a ride. And they gave her a ride. Like, that's the confidence that they kept doing these things for her,
Yeah.
because she, like, it was so amazing. And that was one of the turning points, that I want to be like that. I want to be this amazing woman, you know, that is just loves her life, loves everything, isn't embarrassed about anything, demands the world from a
Yeah.
prison cell on the border. You know?
I love that. It's such a good story. I don't know. You need to tell more people that story.
Well, it doesn't make me look good if people are like, you were arrested.
I know. Well, I mean, you were let out for one, and plenty of people get arrested for things they do in life, and they're still good people. It's just an incident.
Yes. Would have like said my many brushes with the border. That's why we don't go there anymore.
Yeah. Well, so anybody who doesn't know, so Morgan not only travels and lives the nomadic life, that's how you live, as you transport goods.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so you
Yeah.
this is how you ended up in prison at the border.
Yes.
No, that is an amazing story. And I am thrilled to hear it. And I love that this experience, this random person, like, you were like, this is it. I gotta do something.
Yeah, just have like even a little bit of her confidence. Like, she was so fun and like so nice, and just like knew her worth. She was awesome, and she knew it, you know.
So good. So good. Yeah. Now I want to like channel that energy myself too. Be the kind of
Yeah.
person that just like makes demands while in jail.
Yeah.
And then like gets it. I
Yeah.
so you joined us in Holistic Witchery. Is that like the big thing that changed for you, was confidence?
Well, yeah. So that's the thing too about Holistic Witchery, is it will change. I really feel like it's the stepping stone for anything. Like, no matter what you're going to do in your life, it's going to give you the tools and everything you need to go in that direction, and help you find your direction. Because even it helped me in ways I didn't even realize until I realized it, you know, because like you're only focused, you have that intention and you're working intentionally, like the 5-eye spiral. But then other things, like, one, confidence. So I forced myself to talk at every live, because I'm like, I'm just going to do it, you know, just going to do it. So even when I talked, like, I would black out, you know, and then agonize over what I said for days. But eventually I didn't. I could just talk. And like, I used to wake up full of anxiety at 2 a.m. on the dot every night, and then just lay there with anxiety. And I don't know how that changed, but one day I was able to sleep through the night. I was more rested. I wasn't exhausted, you know, like, and I love that you have those challenges and those fun things, because it really pushes you to find yourself and explore how you are and explore things you like. And it's just really like building yourself in all these different ways. And you know, like, I found Lenormand through that. I love Lenormand. You know, I got my certification, and like, you guys, because you put me on my journey there, you know, and on
Yeah.
everything. So,
And now you're
really
spreading that. Like, you started a whole other business where you are working on doing this more professionally and reaching more people and helping other people unblock themselves from these things, using the tools that you found passion in, and then develop them even more beyond Holistic Witchery, which I think is really, really, really cool to see how like that one domino just led to all these other things for you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it is so amazing. And that's why everyone should do Holistic Witchery. And like, it's just like, and all of it, like, when after Holistic Witchery, I just paid for every single class, because every single class is like a stepping stone and a tool, and it all of it helps you. I've never regretted spending a single cent on anything, and I did everything because it really builds who you are.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. What is your, so you mentioned Lenormand as like, you love Lenormand. What's your favorite part of Holistic Witchery, or your favorite unit or class? Your favorite section?
Yeah. Well, I know, I'm trying to think, because it took me like 2 rounds to do the shadow work, because I was like, well, I'm just not going to go there. I'm going to do the magical, and that's okay. You know, and
Yeah.
I'm just going to do the spells, and like, you know, but when I finally did that, I have to say that's my favorite section, because it really does explore who you are. It kind of helps you uncover your blocks. And it adds for me, because I've always been magical and love this, Sabbats and stuff, but like in candle magic, but it really does, like once you start that, it adds it all together. So like, I feel like that's the really important one, because now you're uncovering all these blocks, you're like building yourself, realizing what's been holding you back, but then you're able to also add the magical in between that. So it really is like the well-rounded, my favorite unit.
Yeah. Yeah. I love, thank you for sharing that. And I love how like you could have your favorite unit, but then the thing that you really took was from a whole different unit, the Lenormand. So like you're finding pieces everywhere and just, running with the parts that make sense for you wherever you are on
Oh,
the
yeah.
journey.
Well, and because I wouldn't have wanted to read for anyone with Lenormand if I hadn't done the shadow work, because again, confidence and like, I'm going to keep hiding from the world,
Oh my gosh. I love that story that you shared so much. Like the why. That's such a good story. And I'm so glad that you came out with it and like told the story, because it definitely made my day, and I will never forget that story ever, ever, ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never, in all these years since like 2019, I have never shared it until now.
So good. So what would you like, somebody who's thinking about joining us, but they're maybe nervous that they don't have the time, or like they're not people, so they don't think they'll come to the Zooms, or they won't participate in the group. Because you participate, I think, like, you're everywhere now, like you participate fully, but there was, the kind of working up to that. So somebody who feels like they don't know if this fits their personality or their life, like what would you say to that person?
Well, because I mean, and again, the time magic thing you always talk about is making time for the things. And I feel like when you're on a soul aligned path and you're doing it, things just line up. Like all of a sudden the money will line up. Like, with your intention, all of a sudden the time will line up. And if that's important to you, making the time for it. And even just going to the lives and having your camera off, because you get so much more from that. And it just starts pushing you, because it's outside your comfort zone, obviously, because if it was in your comfort zone, you'd already have it. So it's like how comfortable you are pushing yourself to what you want, because you're obviously thinking about it because you want to make the change. You're keep going back to like maybe Expedition to Soul, the free classes, because it's something you want to see in your life,
Yeah.
So I say just go for it, because you won't regret it. And it'll help you in so many ways on whatever path you're on. And making the time for it, because everyone makes the time for what they want, like malls or vacation, or like playing on your phone for like 3 hours, like I do sometimes,
True. It's just
like, yeah.
prioritizing, right?
Yeah.
Prioritizing.
And starting small. Like I just started listening to the classes when I was driving, just to get into it, because if you're sitting there like listening to the classes while you're cleaning, because you're going to absorb it, and pretty soon you'll just get right into it, you know what I mean, making it, because that's integrating it into your life, truly integrating it into your life by listening to it while you're cooking dinner.
Yeah.
Like there's always time for it. Yeah, you always hear different things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think too, like, it's one of the things, because you've been with us for a while, so you've kind of gone through the class, a few different iterations of it. And certainly we've made it easier than ever to just do it on the go. Because we have the audio feed for it. So like podcast style, the worksheets are all in one thing. And we totally were like, all right, this is everyone doesn't have the time. Everyone's overwhelmed. It's too much. Consolidate, put it all much easier. So we got that. But I think that, like you said, when you listen to it, you get something different. And you, having been around for so long now, so many years, like you do it different times, but you're at a different place. So like who you were when you started was this person who was looking for the audacity of an inmate who demand the temperature control. But who you are now is a person who put yourself out there and takes clients and is like, what's next on my journey here? And so this perspective, while the material doesn't, I mean, it's changed over the years, but the heart of it is very much, the thread is still there, but where you are, how you receive the information next time is still applicable. So it's such an investment, because you just do it again and again, because like you'll receive it different every time, which I think is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. And that's the thing too, is being able to do it, that it's always there. that it's always something you can rely on. So, and it's always something that's going to motivate you and move forward. So even if you're able to do it one time, you can pick that up next time. But that's why I really suggest going to the lives too, because one, it's holding you accountable, but two, it's a fun thing with other ladies or everyone, and you're just doing these things together, and it really inspires you to keep going and to listen to the classes. That's why I think the lives are so important.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Inspires.
sharing all of this.
Yes.
So, well, before we go, we're gonna do this or that, which I don't know if you were on the podcast once before, so I don't know if we did it last time or not, but I added in some new ones. So if we did, then I guess we'll get some of the same info, but there's a couple new ones in here.
Okay.
And I said it before and I'll say it later too, but be sure to follow Morgan over at _sacred_traveler. I know you're on Instagram there, but Morgan's also in our community, so you can reach out to her. Morgan's doing soul realignment work and Lenormand readings, and really digging deep into Akashic records, but in a how to get your life in alignment sort of way. So reach out to Morgan and check out her services, because she's got great feedback and people keep coming back to her, and you want to get on that list. So now though, coffee or tea, Morgan, what's your preference?
Do tea, always tea.
Tea.
Yes.
Well, this is a kind of a silly question. Maybe it's not silly, but because of your lifestyle, do you prefer reading a book or listening to?
Oh, actually listening, because I like it. But one, because I have to drive, so I have to listen to it, but they really get into the story. Like you're being told this play. So you got the different voices, the different characters, and it really brings the story to life. So
Yeah, for
like
sure.
that.
Yeah. I love a good like a well done audible is
Oh,
like so good.
yes.
When so you get to travel all over the place. Do you prefer to be on the water or in the land, like in the forest or mountains, or on the water?
Yeah, see, I have been asking myself this question all the time because I love the water more than anything. But then there's so many great places everywhere, So
Yeah.
it's so hard. I feel like that's why I haven't really settled down anywhere, because there's so many amazing places. But I'd have to say the water. Definitely the water, even though like I know the mountains call to me too, and there's so many fun things, but I'm gonna have to go water. No.
Yeah.
Especially like Florida water, where you can just sit in the water and live in it.
Yeah.
Never get out.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Warm water. All right. Do you prefer the spring season or the autumn season?
Oh, autumn. I like autumn. The leaves changing, and plus my pumpkins, Halloween.
Morgan's got so many good stories. Like you have to get in Holistic Witchery just to hear the things Morgan shares.
Cereal pumpkins, serial killing pumpkins.
And then the pumpkins thing will make more sense.
Yeah.
Come hear the story. Pumpkins and prostitutes and prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Morgan's got other stories too. So, Morgan's got the stories. All right.
Like an onion.
Yeah. So this one, I guess your answer is Lenormand, but I'm giving you tarot or oracle cards.
Okay, no, definitely tarot. I love tarot, especially using different decks, because I actually took Tarot Coach through you guys, which is another class you have to take, because that's actually how I learned tarot, is through Tarot Coach. That it really teaches you tarot the better than any way I've ever been. So yeah, tarot decks for days.
It's kind words. I'm a tarot fan myself.
Yes.
All right, tacos or pizza?
I'm gonna go with tacos, because as you know, I'm vegan, and nobody's really made a good vegan pizza yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I bet. When you come out to Connecticut, now, when you get here, because I know you and I are going to meet up sometime, we have a vegan place in town. I mean, it's very bad for you, vegan food, but look it up. It's called Three Girls Vegan, and their vegan cheese is like top notch. But they make like these, it tastes like a chicken cutlet sandwich, but it's not chicken, it's vegan. And my meat eating husband did not know it wasn't a chicken cutlet. And until I told him, and I was like, 'tis not chicken. But when it's that good though, that it can't be good for you because they probably like fried it or it's like in something. But anyway, so check them out when you
Oh
are out
no.
this way. All right. Are
Yes.
you a morning
Oh
person or
yes.
a night person?
More productive in the morning because I like to sleep. I go to bed at like 6, 6 or 7. Even on New Year's, I'm out. Like, so
Yeah.
definitely morning.
All right. I got two more. One more food one.
Okay.
This is a new addition to our list. Pancakes or waffles?
Ooh, waffles. Love waffles.
That has been everyone's answer is waffles. Apparently we are team waffle at the
Yeah.
Sisters Enchanted. All right. And then our last one. Do you prefer to call or text?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Well, I do like to text, but again, this is more going to the I'm hiding thing. Don't call me. Like it's like gives me anxiety if I have to talk to people. And then I
Yeah.
just, like I told you the other day, I just can't stop talking. So like it's diarrhea. It's like, stop talking. Even Chris is like, you just overshare. You don't know. You know you can just stop talking.
No, it's because you have so much to share. So many good stories. Well, I think you talk just the right amount, if I do say so myself. That's my
Oh,
opinion. I think you talk the right amount. All right. Well, then I guess that is a wrap. Thank you, Morgan, for hanging out. Make sure again, the_sacred_traveler on Instagram and the sacred traveler, Morgan Ray, just look her up, the different places. And you can always reach out through us and we'll hook you up with her too. And she's in the community groups. If you are listening to this and you're in Holistic Witchery, reach out to Morgan because she is very nice and receptive and will give you all her information for what she's got going on. So thank you again, Morgan.
Of course. And hopefully everyone joins Holistic Witchery because it really is a stepping stone, like foundation for everything.
Yes. Come hang out with us. You can learn more at holisticwitchery.com. And all right, then that is it. Until next time, I hope that you have an enchanted rest of your day ahead. If you liked this episode of the Expedition to Soul podcast, please rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, it will really help us spread everyday magic, intention, and intuition to the masses and helps us so much as a small business. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. There are new episodes every Tuesday and astro forecasts for the week ahead every Friday. If there's any topics you'd want to hear, anything you want us to dive deeper into, shoot us an email at magic@thesistersenchanted.com. And as always, thank you so much for listening and being part of the community here at the Sisters Enchanted. And we'll see you in the next episode.